They are a group of Long Island doctors, nurses, and volunteers who travel to third world countries on medical missions. The medical team from Blanca's House uses their healing hands to repair and restore the lives of those who have no options. My cameraman Dave Leibowitz and I had the privilege to document the life-altering surgeries they performed at a small clinic in Babahoyo, Ecuador. The clinic was started by an Ecuadorian Long Islander, Dr. Rafael Hernandez. He built the clinic on the site of his boyhood home, and it is there that Dr. Hernandez welcomed the medical team from Blanca's House to set up a triage, an OR, and a recovery room, a mini hospital that will see almost 200 cases in 3 days. Join us now for this News 12 special on their journey and watch as the Long Island medical team gives the gift of hope to those who need it the most. We must warn you, because we were allowed access into the operating room, some of the images are graphic. We arrive in the middle of the night in Babahoyo, Ecuador. Long Island doctors, nurses, and medical staff from an organization called Blanca's House. A team of volunteers on a life-changing medical mission. Blanca's House volunteers waste no time. They bring what they have and all that they know to the poorest of the poor.
They volunteer their time to come to third world countries to provide medical care to people that cannot afford medical care.
That has all syringes, so take
A MASH unit is set up where in 3 days almost 200 surgeries will take place. Okay, it's about 11 o'clock at night. We're here in the OR. Blanca House volunteers, doctors, nurses, getting the OR ready for tomorrow. The next morning, it's apparent. News of the Long Island doctors' arrival has spread. The sick and suffering have traveled for miles and are already waiting at the clinic before sunrise.
I couldn't believe when I got here and we walked to the clinic and saw all the people waiting for surgery, how many people there were, how many procedures, and how many people wanted to be helped.
And they will now sit for hours in the hot sun outside this small third world clinic in a city of decay, all hoping for a chance to be healed.
50 people waiting outside of our doors, just waiting to come in. It's heartbreaking.
Once inside the clinic, families beg for help.
You have to see it with your own eyes to understand.
Little Bambalina.
They are desperate because their loved ones afflicted with cleft palates, tumors, mangled hands and feet have spent their lives being shunned.
We see a lot of people with large thyroid tumors, large head and neck tumors that have been ignored and neglected for many, many years.
It was just like, my God, really unbelievable. This stuff in the States is diagnosed when you're born.
This is 2-year-old Milagro. She is about to go and get her cleft palate fixed. She's a little nervous, but she's going to do just great.
Anxious parents wait for the outcome, and they pray the Long Island doctors' healing hands will answer their prayers. It's hard to imagine the living conditions in a third world country unless you see it firsthand. For many of the people who live in this area of Ecuador, which is a few hundred miles south of the equator, healthcare is limited and most times non-existent. These people wait and hope for years for life-changing surgeries, procedures that took our medical team from Long Island 45 minutes to perform. My cameraman Dave and I spent an entire week in Babahoyo documenting this incredible story with 9 hours of footage. When we come back, we will bring you the medical success stories, the heartbreak, and we'll show you what happens when the power goes out in Ecuador during an operation.
We don't have the supplies, we lack this, we lack that, and we become so creative, you know, to be able to do these things.
Here's the OR. One of the doctors, thank you very much. And this has just been prepared for tomorrow. There'll be a crowd waiting, and of course, we will be praying that the surgeries will go well.
We work under, conditions different than we back home. As an example, yesterday the power went out in the middle of the surgery, and we have our cameraman here holding the flashlight, and we were able to go through the case, and the patient did very well, went home the next day.
We get the job done, and that's just another day at the job.
Welcome back to Healing Hands, a Long Island medical mission to Ecuador. If you have ever watched the classic sitcom MASH, then you can somewhat visualize what it's like to bring an entire operating room to Ecuador, complete with equipment for life support, medicine, towels, gowns, IVs, surgical tools. The list is endless. The items are donated and brought by plane and then bused to the clinic in Babahoyo. It's an amazing feat, and the Long Island volunteers from Blanca's House have worked for months for this moment. Again, we warn you, the pictures we're about to show you may be considered graphic. We were allowed into the operating room to show you the medical miracles the doctors and nurses performed. It is day 2 in Ecuador, and the Long Island doctors and nurses are now working together like a symphony.
Local, please.
Their medical music is making miracles happen.
All right, buddy.
This little boy will now hear, and this child will eat for the first time. Here at the clinic, the operating room is now up and running. 2 procedures are taking place at the same time. As you can see over here, our Long Island team is efficient. They're getting the job done, and they're changing lives.
These are the people that need it, that don't have access to anything. And if we don't come here once or twice a year, they have nothing.
The hours are long in this makeshift OR, but despite the cramped conditions and limited supplies, the surgeons race against the clock, performing as many procedures as possible.
The fact that you could do so many of them and change so many lives in such a short time, it's great.
At one point, the power goes out, but the surgical team remains calm.
Let's do the local cases while we have no power.
And quickly, we decide to use our camera's light,
Can you put the light on there, please? Shine the light.
along with flashlights, so that Dr. Matar can finish a thyroid operation.
Our great cameraman David came in, and we were able to finish the surgery with the light from your camera.
¿Cómo estás? ¿Estás bien?
In the midst of the success,
Good.
there is also heartbreak.
Yeah, this we can't do.
This man has a tumor growing into his brain, but doctors can't help him. His operation too risky and complicated.
I can do this, but not here.
And this man, who has been turned away for the same reasons, pleads with surgeons to remove an abnormal growth from his head.
No mask.
How long has it been there?
Oh.
The next day, the surgeons decide to operate, changing this man's life forever.
We just decided that we're going to take it out.
I got to keep the periosteum on so I can put a skin graft on.
And they went in and just did it.
2 flights down, in the recovery unit, the floors are filled with bandaged patients lying on mattresses.
These people post-op, nobody complained about a thing.
Good.
They go right through it. And then within 24 to 48 hours, they're home. They're out of here.
They return to their homes and their struggles, bringing with them new hope, a fighting chance, a medical miracle. I have to tell you more about the man with the tumor growing into his brain. There's an effort on behalf of Blanca's House to bring him back to Long Island and do the surgery. And the man with the growth on his forehead, well, he cried when the doctors told him they would go ahead with the surgery and remove the growth. It was touching, heart-wrenching to see his family visit him after the procedure, a surgery that took less than an hour. His family actually wept at his bedside and were in disbelief that the growth that he was forced to live with for more than a decade was now gone for good. Although some of the images may have been hard to look at, we decided to show you those pictures to underscore the gift the Long Island medical team brought to the people of Babahoyo. But as always, if you give, you shall receive. And that was the case for all of us on this mission. Each one of us were touched in some way by the beautiful families that we met. Their quiet courage and their sincere gratitude served as an example and taught all of us how blessed we really are. Next, the medical team from Blanca's House must pack up and say goodbye.
I love it. I'm having a great time, and it really gives you a satisfaction that you don't get with anything else. You know, I'm very happy. I hope that more people want to do it next year.
First time I came here, I fell in love. It's just helping all the people. Everybody's so appreciative, and it's very fulfilling. I can't describe it. It's just wonderful.
Coming up on News 12 Long Island, we are in Ecuador making these kids happy. Hola! Hola!
The group is a real great team. They work hard, and they do it from the bottom of the heart. They give up everything.
Gallo, who is our team leader, His family's from here in Ecuador, and his mother was very, very instrumental in helping a lot of people down here. And he had this vision of coming to help people.
Welcome back to our News 12 special Healing Hands. Well, we have met those who have been touched by the Blancas House medical staff, but who are these Long Islanders who have given up their vacations, time with their families, and the comforts of home to make change and bring hope? It's now time to leave this crumbling city of concrete, a place of makeshift living, where the smell of human struggle is in the air that we breathe, and everywhere we witness the precarious balance between life and death. And although this is not a place where most would want to return, the Long Island medical team from Blancas House is already planning their next trip.
I'm definitely going to come back every year and help these people.
And it is these people that Galo Burbana, the founder of Blancas House and an Ecuadorian Long Islander, chose not to forget.
We're able to come and give this little guy hope. You can't put that into words. It's just like, wow, we did that. And if it wasn't for us, that would not have happened.
I grew up watching MASH, and that's what I felt like here. You know, hey, if Hawkeye and Hot Lips could do it, so could we.
Long Island students also volunteered. Ariel Sassone, a junior at Great Neck High, came on this mission with her father, a surgeon.
Being in the operating room with my dad and assisting him, I feel like I'm helping out so much.
This is 15-year-old Kelly O'Sullivan's second trip. The Sayville teen's mom is the pre-op nurse here.
Most 15-year-olds don't do this kind of stuff, and I'm so blessed to be able to do it.
She's just learned so much from this, and it's just such a great mother-daughter bonding experience.
And Amanda Carter was amazed watching her mother, Donna, who is a physician's assistant.
I got to see her stitching and everything, and I helped a little bit too.
The last day is spent packing up supplies and equipment.
It's essential that we pack them really well and we're ready to go for our next trip.
And then we travel to the edges of the city. Donated supplies are given out.
Thank you.
And hope is spread.
These conditions are hard to imagine, but this is how many people here in Ecuador live.
Gracias, Galo. Aquí nos representaste.
He says he'd like to thank everybody from the United States, especially our Long Island community. He says we might be in different countries, but we're really together, and together we help everybody here.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
See those people saying thank you, gracias, gracias.
This entire experience has been a blessing.
That's the reward.
It's really changed me as a whole.
Memories that you'll never make again.
When we walk away from all this and we see all these people going home with a big smile on their face.
You want to cry, but it's tears of joy.
And it is with those tears a promise to return with their healing hands. And now, in their own words, the Long Island medical team from Blancas House tell their story.
What's Blancas House motto? Maintain maximum flexibility.
Big surgery with a flashlight is something we don't do back home, so we always, it's a story to talk about.
Oh, yes, thank God.
Blancas House is a non-for-profit organization formed by friends of mine.
We get together and all you have to do is just introduce who you are and what you do at home.
Can you give me a 15 plate, please?
It's amazing, you know, how all of a sudden you get so close in a matter of hours.
It's just like a baseball team. You get traded from one team to another, but you all work together instantly.
We're about ready to take this baby out.
It's a team. It's a teamwork.
And before you know it, you just click right into a little cohesive unit.
So you leave the parathyroid, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
leave it with the patient.
After a day, it's basically well-oiled and ready to go.
This is the way we give back, and it just feels good, and that's why we do it.
No me llores, we all would like to be able to do more.
Blancas House is conducting its 5th mission.
Was it third? That's right.
This is my 3rd mission, actually.
We are growing by leaps and bounds.
It's all being stapled on the outside, and then on those staples we're going to attach string, and the string we'll put a non-stick dressing, then a big bulky dressing that'll push the graft down and hold it against this area so it'll take.
Muy bien. Te felicito.
It is amazing the kind of work that we have done.
He's happy.
I think it's just a great thing what Blancas House is doing.
It's something that you will never experience back home.
It's a life-changing experience.
Don't try to eat that monkey.
People will never understand unless they come and travel with us.
It's something that I'd want to continue to do.
You got the ball? Good boy.
It's really an experience that changes us in a much better way.
Yeah. You didn't know what it was like to be here and to see this, and so you can't really explain it.
This entire experience has been a blessing. It's really changed me as a whole, and it's absolutely influenced me to keep going on with this career.
Look at Mama.
I see a lot of the babies and they come in and they can't eat because they have their cleft palates and their cleft lips. And then when they come out, the mom's told that she can start feeding them in 2 days. Just the look on their faces, it's amazing. It's pure happiness.
It is a very rewarding feeling, actually. I think I do it just for when we walk away from all this and we see all these people going home with a big smile on their face, it just feels good. Feels good.
It's an overwhelming feeling. It's just incredible because they're happy. They're happy. They're happy.
This experience has definitely been one of the most unbelievable experiences I've ever had.
I just feel like I take so much for granted at home. I feel like I'm definitely going to want to do more things like this in the future too, because how they live here and how poor they are in this country, it just makes me want to help more and do more missions like this in the future.
We have fun. We become friends.
Great stories.
That was huge!
Taking the caterpillar ride.
Great laughs.
The caterpillar didn't start, we had to push it.
Great memories.
We have fun. We have fun.
Little doggy.
Had a great time. It was a great experience. I can't believe what I have witnessed while I'm here. Go back and talk this up and get other people to understand the need for this, that we as a country have the resources. Come on, any one of us can take 5 days off and come down here and do something like this. Any one of us.
You maintain maximum flexibility. That's the Blanca's House motto, and that's really, really what we're about.
Thank you for watching this News 12 special, Healing Hands. And most of all, thank you for allowing me to bring you along on this amazing journey. We have information on Blanca's House on our website at news12.com, and check out my blog with pictures that we took during the trip. My cameraman Dave Leibowitz and I will never forget the images of Baba Hoya and the joy, the grief, and the love that we shared with the Long Island medical team from Blanca's House. They allowed us to be part of their mission to help when needed, and they warmly welcomed us into their family. Here is one last look at those light moments, the laughter and the fun.
Good.
Then we're going to go north.
You're okay.
Wait, where's the plan to give out underwear?